Hey guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we are going to be automating some fluids, getting those set up, and also completing some chapters. So, I hope you guys are ready. So, just to get this off the top, today, my voice may sound a little bit different. It's because I am actually in my studio now. I did renovate a shed. If you guys are a supporter and you have a Discord already, you should be able to see images of that. I've been posting it there for the supporters and stuff like that, Patreons and Twitch subs. But anyways, I do want to kind of share that. That's why it may sound a little funny. I am waiting on Amazon orders to arrive so that way I can put the sound padding up that will help with all of this echo and also getting some furniture in here. But anyways, enough with that. We need to dive deeper into this pack. So let's take a look here. Right now, we have tons and tons of EMCable items anyways, or tons of EMC, I guess I should say. I'm waiting to get another one of the final flower powers. All we gotta do is break this. I'm pretty sure I added it to it. Okay, so here it is. So yeah, we should be able to pull like several of these out. Look how nice these look. So yeah, these guys are producing EMC at a astounding rate. But that's one of the things I want to talk about today. We almost have this tab completed and this tab completed, and that's going to help complete these chapter guides. And over in the shop, we have this thing called trophies. And at the bottom of each one of these, there is something that needs to be unlocked. So this says, introduction needs to be unlocked. Since the pack is now in full release, there are some cool things that I can talk about. So let's go ahead and complete this. We need the Antimatter Relay 1 and 2. And I think what we can do is actually use the tier 1 and 2 of the MKs, because I think we can convert those. So if we get the MK2 and that, and we go to the MK3, where is our 3? There it is. The 3, and I think we can revert these back. Oh, I guess not. So we are going to have to actually craft those. So, Project E. This should be a little bit easier now that we have a planetary logistics system. So what I've done is I have tons and tons of items in here that are in my actual transmutation table. And as I get more, I'm just adding them, of course, because we have empty slots and stuff. So I'm going to continue to fill this up. But what we should be able to do now is make these things a lot easier. So we still need a regular energy collector. I'm going to go ahead and make one of those. And that allows us to make that collector. And then last but not least, we can make that collector. Same for this. Let's go ahead and make the Antimatter Relay. And this is where the EMC kind of changes to an applied logistics system or an RF or a refined storage system. Either way, we're probably going to do both. So either way, it's easily done. So let's go ahead and complete those rewards. And now we have the red matter furnace, the Kedar, and the red morning star. Both of these are really, really cool tools. Let's go ahead and work on making those. First, the red matter furnace. The problem is the red matter furnace, we need a red matter pick before we can break it. So I definitely don't want to place it down, but I will go ahead and store it inside here. So that way we have it for later. So that recipe has been completed. Now we can start working on the tools. So the actual guitar requires all of these different tools. So all we have to do now is sort of build up the tools, our tool repertoire, our weapon drawer, right? And I might as well just make each one of these individual tools anyways. It's not going to hurt. And then just save them. So I'm going to go ahead and get all these tools made. It's going to take me a second just clicking through here, but we should definitely get everything very soon. So everything is learned, which should allow us to go ahead and make the guitar and the red morning star. Awesome. And voila, we have completed that section. So we can claim these 2 rewards, and our one that I've been working on for a while, the Project E stuff, is now officially done. And that opened a chapter over here, which we can claim our reward. There we go. And it opened up in the center. Now the introduction tab, we really can finish this one pretty quickly. We just need to go into the shop under, I think it is the magic section. There we go. And just purchase one of each of these crystals. I think I got a fire crystal. Don't remember. But you need each one of these crystals. And the good thing about these is they're all EMCable. So yeah, we can take these crystals. I'm going to need 3 of them. And as soon as you break one, you're going to notice it auto-completes. It needs to be on some kind of stone, by the way. But as soon as I break my first one, I think I can use the Morning Star. Yeah. Now it says that I'm good to go, right? I didn't even have to sleep. Normally you have to sleep, but in this case I didn't have to. So to make Salus Mundus, you need a bowl. You're also going to need flint and redstone. And then 3 different types. And that's going to make your Salus Mundus. And that completes that chapter. How nice. There we go. We get our rewards. And these have rewards that we didn't grab. I think that's it for this section. And there's our other reward for that. So we have our first 2 sections completed. There's a couple things that I think I want to work on today and kind of push towards. And that is our fluid expertise. There's 2 things that we can really push towards and get done pretty easy. And that is the resonant ender and the tectonic petroleum. So both of those are pretty easy. And I don't think it's going to give us too much of a hard time to make either one of these. So right here we have UU matter, IC2 coolant, empowered oil, life essence, grassoline, which is interesting, sewage, and refined fuel. But like I said, these 2, at least getting started now, is going to be pretty easy, and we already have the equipment for it. And everything else, like, we have to complete, in order to finish this pack, we have to complete every single tab. A lot of these items will be pretty easy to obtain. Some will not, because some require you to go through the entire quest book. But I think we can handle it. Eventually, this should have a wireless crafting grid. At the moment, it's not working. Don't know why. It'll be fixed probably in the next patch. But as of right now, the wireless crafting terminal mod is not actually loading up for some reason. I was going to work on that today, getting a wireless crafting grid. That way we don't have to stand here. But unfortunately, it's not working. So we'll get it worked out. And it'll be working very soon. So now that we have that done, like I said, let's get into making those fluids. So petroleum. Is it going to show up for me? Let's do thermal, and we'll do Magma Crucible. So if we take petroleum dust, that's going to get us tectonic petroleum. And the petroleum dust requires basalt powder. This stuff should be pretty easy for us to get, as it just needs essence of knowledge or experience and some pulverized obsidian. We can do this in a fluid transposer. So do I have a fluid transposer in here? I don't think so. But we should be able to make one. And that's where this crafting grid just becomes so handy, because we should just be able to craft it, and bam, we make a fluid transposer just like that. So handy, so handy. All right, so with that being said, I think we should be able to break this. Oop, oh wow. I forgot I never closed this up. I should probably do that. Or these mobs go crazy. You've seen there was a little pixie that flew out. Alright, so, like I said, we should be able to break this. Head out. And hook this into some power. And I think we can set this to extract. Yes. So, push. So that's going to take out some levels. It's going to fill this up a little bit. And all we need is some obsidian. And that needs to be pulverized. Do we have a pulverizer up here? We have a compactor. My pulverizer is not in here. There we go. Pulverizer. And we can throw that. Good thing I have flight. Why is there a hole in my floor? Oh, that's right. I forgot to mention, I upgraded these to tier 2. That's why there was a hole in the floor, because I accidentally built one behind there. Alright, so we're going to get one of these. Ground up. Of course, kits. Where are my kits? Oh, do kits get removed? I was going to say, does kits not have EMC anymore? But I guess they do. Okay. Oh, that's right. We never made kits. So, I guess we're going to have to worry about that eventually as well. But, for right now, there we go. We'll get that converted over. And we can actually make our magmatic dynamo. Or not, yeah, not magmatic dynamo. Crucible. So, magmatic crucible. We need hardened glass, which means we can kind of push through thermal pretty quick. I think we need Invar, and that's some of the things that we don't actually have is Invar. But making Invar is not actually hard. If I remember correctly, because we can make Invar blend. Okay. Iron. And we're also going to need nickel. Alright, so I'm going to go through the process, basically, of making some Invar. All we got to do is kind of pulverize some of it down. Need to pulverize some iron. That is making that powder, so that's good. I actually want this to go back in. So I should be able to set this to pull. And that should pull the fluid out. Okay, so we're not wasting anything. I'm going to save this to the EMC. We're going to need some of it. And there's our petroleum. Awesome. And the petroleum is going to be very useful later on. So now that we have that done, this should be finishing. You have that, and we'll put some nickel in there. Blend those up. Like I said, that'll get Invar. And the reason I need Invar is because I need to make an induction smelter. I think. I guess we can do quartz as well. Let's see. 4 pieces of quartz, I think, act as hardened. If I put this in alloys mode, I think this gives us a hardened variant. Fused quartz, I guess, acts as that, if I remember correctly. So maybe, let's do the crucible. Maybe we can just jump, yeah, we can jump directly into the crucible. Awesome. So, with that, let's go ahead and get a point. We should be able to do some fun stuff with this crucible here. Alright, so here, it's going to be one crucible. I'm going to have another crucible next to it, because we're going to be making 2 fluids. Alright, we can get an EMC link. Just a regular one. Should work just fine. So there's a Magma Crucible. We should have 2 Magma Crucibles. Perfect. We'll set this to main. That's going to fill up with power. And this one, we can put an EMC link on top. We'll set that EMC link here in a minute because remember, we're making 2 different fluids. We also have some quests here. But we have 2 fluids. We have Resonant Ender, which is super easy, and the Tectonic Petroleum. Okay, so let's get both of those done. Petroleum. We need... I think it's basalts. Oh no, it's petroleum. Okay, so we have that and ender pearls. That should be all we need to automate this. And I'm going to show you how to do the fluids. Because some people may be curious about how the fluids work. So one of these is going to get an ender pearl. Oop, I didn't mean to do that. Other slot. I'm so used to the bigger ones. Ender pearl goes in here. On this one, the petroleum goes in here. And then we'll set the configuration. If you shift right click into this, you can change this and set auto input mode enabled. The top is where we're going to input. There we go. Auto input. The bottom is where we're going to extract the fluid. Right? And so what I need to make now is a screen. One of these task screens. You need the quest book in order to do that. So I'm going to grab a couple quest books. And you can see we have a task screen. Awesome. So I'm going to grab two task screens. These are going to be separate. Place one there and one there. What you can do is shift right click on them, go into task, and then search for the fluid. So tectonic petroleum, we'll set that task and click the close button. And you'll see this is the tectonic petroleum. Over here, shift right click, task, this one, resonant, or I guess we do ender, resonant ender. There we go. And that's going to start to fill up. As you can see, just over time, as we're playing, these are going to just be filling these things up. And once they're filled up, well, we can go in here and we can see they're right here, and we can complete them once they're done. So, pretty simple on how to get your fluid automation set up, at least for these two. These are definitely a couple of the easiest ones that I wanted to work on today. So I didn't know this at the start, but apparently I could be mining way more Beast Coin way faster. And by doing so, or how to do so, is just to make more Beast Coin miners. Yeah, that is something that I need to do. So at this point, it says literally infinite on the amount of storage it can hold. We need to pump this thing full of power so that way we can mine. Now, it is going to continue to get more expensive, but each Beast Coin miner will mine 1 coin a piece as long as it is given power. So all we got to do is basically just buy, let's say, I want to buy 15. So we'll actually 14. We have one already. So this will be 15. So now we have a few of them. And what I can do is just continue to line these in a pattern like this. And what I'm going to do is set up a bunch of petrified fuel generators, kind of like I already have. And see how this goes. See how much faster we're generating. Because right now, I mean, we're generating it like so. So let's see what happens when we take a bunch of these petrified fuel generators and start generating power with them. You know, you never know. Because I don't think we need any on those sides. Okay, so I went ahead and made some conduits. So those should be fine. The only thing it didn't make is a Yeta wrench, unfortunately. I don't know if having anything pumping into these are going to matter, but I'll remove them just to be on the safe side. So let's set these to insert all of these. And this one will be set to extract. Always active. Insert. And last but not least, insert. All right. So, how is this looking? Oh boy. So now, we are definitely generating more at a faster rate. So each one of these now, so now we have 15 a second basically being generated. Okay, so what would it be like if we covered this whole roof in these Beastcoin miners? Huh. So when working with large scale projects like so, even though I wouldn't recommend this on a server per se, I wouldn't recommend doing this potential setup because it could cause some issues. But you probably want to use Conduit Probes and have a Yeta wrench handy. Now the Conduit Probe is going to be very handy for you. This can do two things. It can copy and paste, basically. That's exactly what it does. It copies configs and allows you to paste them. The thing is, we're going to have to span these quite a distance from this personal EMC link. And they need to be connected. So for me to do that, I mean, I have to hook them up in some way. I mean, I can go minimal to an extent, but these still basically need to cover this entire area. And what I can do is basically tell it, all right, I don't want this config to be set on this one. I want this one to not be extract. So the best way to do that is go unextract. Right here, item conduit connection to down. We can go here. That, so we should, when we go into paste mode, should be able to paste it. Maybe not. Maybe these we actually do have to go and unextract them, but that's what the Yeta wrench is for. So Yeta wrench, we can just go in and go right there. Double click on this twice and that'll remove it. If you want to copy the config, which all of these need to be set to insert, you take your thing, copy it, and then when you go to your next one, you just right click and it pastes it. If you caught that quick enough. But yeah, we got to place down a lot of conduit. As you can see, there's a lot of conduit that's got to be placed. And then of course, if you mess up, you got to replace it. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be placing a lot of conduit down. Hopefully you like that little tip of using the probe. It definitely comes in handy, so you don't have to do this manually for everything. So this is what it looks like when you have all of these guys running. Yeah, this whole top of the building has become my Beastcoin mining operation. Except for this time, well, GPUs are not going to be wasted in the process. and you're not going to be overcharged because the market gets oversaturated. But let's go ahead and take a look and see how much we're actually gaining now. Oh boy. Let's just say lots more. It's like 1,000 every few. Like, that's pretty fast. But you can also see the current coin cost is also going up very, very quickly. To the point where eventually it's going to start causing us to bottleneck. But that's after a while. That's going to be after a while. Because right now, it's only costing us like 40-something thousand a coin. That's per coin. And this produces 46,000 a piece. But like I said, eventually we're going to hit a bottleneck where it's going to start slowing down a little bit. But it'll still be generating coin. But man, this is absolutely insane. Look at this. Like, we're going to be able to buy a lot more stuff. Like, I can't wait because I really, really want an acceleration wand. And I would actually, before an acceleration wand, I think we can get better than an acceleration wand. Let's see. Is there not creative? The Watch of Flowing Time. Become the master of time by right-clicking. This right here would probably be one of the best things to get. Since the only way you can get it is that way. And for that price, it's the same as our wand. So it's the same as Acceleration Wand. So yeah, I would highly recommend getting that. I wonder if you can accelerate the Beastcoin miner. That'd be something to look into. Wow, perfect timing. Our Tectonic Petroleum quest is already completed. That actually didn't take very long at all. Wow, for the Tectonic Petroleum? That's kind of crazy. So yeah, that was just the time that we spent working on all that stuff. we were able to complete that quest. Now, I want to look at some of the other quests that we have. Some of these fluids I don't recognize very well, like grassoline. How do you make that? That is from thermal expansion. Ah, so fractioning still with biocrude. We get that from rich biomass. All right, or pulped bioblend. Okay, so how do you get either one of these things? Seed oil. But that doesn't explain... Okay, so we have rich biomass. That gives us a bit more. This gives us a little less. So pulped bioblend, that's what we need. So pulped bioblend is pulped biomass. Oh wow, that's actually not hard. Sag mill, we can do potatoes. We could easily do potatoes. So I guess maybe we can try and automate this now. Would probably work. Sawdust. From a pulverizer, I'm assuming wood. It doesn't show up, but I'm assuming it's anything wood. Alright. And I think, was logs give you more? Okay, so we get some sawdust from that. From a pulverizer. So a pulverizer into potatoes. We should be good. We need to make a sawmill, but that's about it. Alright, so that's not too difficult. So, sawmill? Anybody? We need to make a saw blade. And make a sawmill. Okay, so the sawmill is going to be used for a few things, and then a pulverizer was one of the other things we needed. Alright, so we have plant matter going into the sawmill, or going into the pulverizer, right? And then wood going into the sawmill. No, it's the other way around. Wood going into the pulverizer. And then we need a crafter. Unless that stuff is EMCable, which I don't think it was. Okay, so we also need another crucible. And we're going to need a fractioning still. Now this would require nickel and constantine, which we don't have constantine, but it's such a simple alloy to make. We can easily make it. Put this in alloy mode. Throw those together. Well, that's electrum. We need constantine. Am I missing what constantine is? Oh, nickel and copper. Okay. Either way, we still need this. So at least we can learn electrum. Alright, so constantine is copper and nickel. Either way, we can throw these over here and get that as well. So there's our constantine. Save that, throw that in here. Alright, and fractioning still. Let's make a couple of gears. And there we go. Awesome. So we should technically have everything. All we need now is EMC links. One for potatoes, one for wood. A crafter. Which we could probably use just a mechanical crafter. With as easy as that is to make. And that should probably work, and probably use some kind of pipe to pull out. Which we'd probably use flat transfer nodes, with it being as fast as that'll be. Alright, let's try this. Let's try this out. Let's see what we can't come up with. So, this is for grassoline, right? And we're trying to make pulped biomass. So potatoes going into a sawmill. That seems simple enough. Potatoes going into a sawmill. And then wood going into a pulverizer. All right, so let's go ahead and get that done. So potato going into a sawmill. And wood. Let's do regular oak. Going into the pulverizer. And these need some power, but we also need a mechanical crafter in here. So let me go ahead and get a point. This probably isn't the best way to set up your power system, but it works for me. Alright, so these both have power now. These are going to start working. Once we get a little bit of what it's making, I can throw that inside that mechanical crafter, and the mechanical crafter reads the blocks next to it. So you don't really have to worry about these machines ruining a buffer or something like that. So we can go ahead and set the item required. There we go. And that should start making it once there's enough in the inventory. I hope. Once we set the outputs. There we go. Now it's making it. So now we get that pulped bioblend, which is exactly what we wanted. Oh, we need the fractioning still. So we need the Magma Crucible now. And the Magma Crucible, I guess, can go up here. And it's going to automatically pull out the Pulped Bioblend. And then it's going to insert it into here. Now I'm going to go in the back. Find out where this thing's at, which is right here. And we're going to pop a point on here. Watching her flight status as well. There we go. So that'll have some power. And I'll throw some power on this as well. And we'll get another fluid automated for today. So that's going to fill in there. That's going to be in the fractioning still, and that's going to be producing our fluid. Now we should just be able to get a screen. And set that to gasoline. And make sure this is set to pump out. And there we go. We have fully automated gasoline. That's pretty simple, actually. With EMC links, like not gonna lie, that's a pretty simple process there. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also give this video, guys, a huge thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next episode, and as always, thanks for watching.